Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Warrior Way. I'm outside on this beautiful day. I've been sitting here for like probably an hour and a half already, singing, dancing, just enjoying the moment. As I mentioned in other videos, I sing and dance a lot. I took a break from it for a while in terms of like singing outside, but now I'm back. I found I go into different spots. I don't stay in two spots for too long if it gets crowded. It's another trick, by the way. If you ever start doing what I'm doing, you cannot stay in a spot for too long because what starts to happen is people will come over or people will stop you. So you have to find places where people won't stop you and people will just walk by. Some people say hello, but quick hellos. Sometimes people will talk, but most of the time they'll keep going. And you have to find your places where you can do these things because ultimately when you start to realize that God is in control of everything and you realize that every single moment's already played out already, we've done this so many times. What's left for us to do is to enjoy the moments. And now there's so many things you could do to enjoy, but I found that for me, being in nature is amazing, and being in nature and meditating is great, which I do sometimes, or just sitting and watching the water. But I really enjoy listening to music, and then while I'm listening to music, I really like singing. I sing to Dave Matthews. He's my favorite band. I think I consider him a teacher of mine. If you ever listen to the lyrics, I mean, I would suggest anybody that's coming on here, like, take a look at his lyrics. He literally talks to you. He gives you the pathway to breaking free. He has a song called Break Free. He has a song, It Could Happen, talking about, it seems like he was maybe on psychedelics and I tripped out holy night, kind of like my story about tripping out. And I read that when I heard that song, that was like, I started to like tear up the first time I really recognized what he was saying. I still get emotional when I hear that song and I sing it with all my heart. I sing his songs really from my heart. I feel his music. I feel his words, that every single word he's talking about, whether he could be talking about a girl, he could be talking about his wife. I don't know, but to me, it sounds like the girl, whenever he's referring to her like a woman, it's like the woman is like God. It is the embodiment of Shiva, of the goddess, of literally that place of like being in a relationship with the divine, and that's what I feel in those moments. And again, I'm sure some of them are related to that. Maybe some of them are related to a specific person or circumstances in his life, but any love song, when you really listen to them, it can resonate with you in terms of like the relationship you have with your divine feminine. And for those of you who are women listening to this, it might be like just listening to like that the man, the masculine part that's connecting with you, or whatever you're into, whatever your love life is. And I'm really grateful to it's I mention in my poetry, and I mention in my when I speak on these videos about, it's not always like, the feelings inside are like waves, where they come and they go, and your emotions are like that. Like sometimes it hits me like hard, like I'm wearing the Josh, or like it's scary at times, like the shark's attacking you. Like this illusion of life is so strong because of the programming we've been put under, that like it comes to me. And sometimes where I'm like, ooh, I feel so strongly, like, and it's really the pull of the universe, of things, of people telling you that, like, because if you look around at humans are constantly doing on the phone, like, they're not just on the phone, they're on the phone, like, talking about money, talking about making deals and what they have to do today, and all their program, and all the scheduling, and almost so many things you have to do, and it's always talking about like what you have to do next, and they're very rarely being in the place of wanting to talk about just being here and enjoying like the grass, and then look at like the water. That's why I'm having facing this way today, like facing the water, like just so I can see the water too while I'm talking on here, like the beautiful water and the clouds that are in the sky and the blue sky that we have, and like butterflies and insects and birds, and all of it is what you start to want to talk about, what you start to appreciate. And humans are part of that. And humanity is funny. Like I see people that look over, some people will smile, some people will give a low, some people will just pretend they don't see you, especially if I'm singing out loud, like, ooh, this scary guy. And and the funniest thing is, like, anyone that would give me eye contact, anyone that would look over to me while I'm singing, like I'll give a low. And sometimes, like, if they come over, I will stop singing completely, take off my headphones and start talking. And I've done it before. And it's just so funny how humans are. Humans are the most difficult part of nature. Nature, if we watch nature, they just do their thing. They don't mind. And if you do yours, what starts to happen is when you are your own like loving place in nature, and nature wants to come to you. Animals will come to you. Children will come to you. Children, when they're in the strollers, they'll come by and they're staring at me. And I'm talking to them. The parents don't even see, or the housekeepers or babysitters, whoever's watching them as they walk by, they're not even looking at me. The babies are looking at me, and sometimes the babies will smile, and I'm waving and I'm doing like hello, and like it's so innocent. It's more like I'm just a baby, a little child's in a place of complete love, just like the bird, just like the bug, just like the swans or the fish in the water. It's such a beautiful moment the other day. It was the other day, it was yesterday. It was like drizzling rain, and I went to an area with water where you can look over on the docks and you can look over to the water, and all the fish were coming up, and it was so beautiful. Like the fish, there were so many schools of fish swimming fast and going fast, 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 and just like appreciating that. And nature has so many different intricacies as I see a bee flying by right now. And I'm really grateful to be in this place of understanding that, like, that's what God is. God is the totality of it all. And He wants us to just enjoy it. And I didn't understand, to let it go. Like when all the musicians talk about it in song, and Ram Dass talks about it, and all the masters talk about it, and all spiritual people that you go to, if like you go to any yoga class or anything, they'll say, let it go, let it be. And a lot of the people teaching, a lot of people doing it are not letting it go and letting it be. So like it's hard. How do we see other people letting it go? So letting it go to me is really releasing it all, including the striving at all for money. We see other people that like we see the people that have the money who talk about letting go. We're like, oh, but they have the money, so it's easy for them to say. When they were talking about it, they were on that journey. They didn't necessarily have it all like they have right now. They were actually telling you the pathway, and that's where Dave Matthews talks about. You could see it in his pathway. The story from him apparently was that the first year he was trying to become something. They were making like $50 a show for like there were like five guys in the show, and they're making $50 a show and dinner. That's what they were making for their shows for a whole year. And they were playing like every night. They were driving around in a little RV. I don't even know if it was an RV. Maybe I think it was a van actually, in a little van traveling around the United States, driving from town. I think it was the United States. Maybe it wasn't even the United States. But either way, they were driving around from town to town to town. And I'm sure during that time, that's where he maybe found himself, and that's where he went. When like you dig real deep, when you're like in that place of like you don't know how you're gonna like make it, but you start to really understand that God is telling you, I got you. Live your life, like breathe, let it go, let it go. And once you let it go, that's how you know. Like you'll start to see the reality, that the realities are not what people told us, or what society told us, or what the TV shows told us, or our previous programming from growing up in our religions and all these places. They told us that we have to like strive and work really hard. In Judaism, when I grew up in Judaism, like this word hashtadlus of like you have to do, and it's not true. It's just not true. It's not that you're not going to do. You're always going to do. I mentioned in other videos as well, and Ram Dass talks about this. Like you're going to do. You're going to go to the bathroom. You're going to eat because you have to eat. You're going to pick up your kids. You're going to do errands. You're going to go shopping. You're going to do things. And then people say, but how do you do it if you don't have the money to be able to do it? And that gets you back into that same place again, where you're misunderstanding it. It starts to go, you have to go into your place and to know and to know, and then it's not what you think it is. The reality is literally changed. And like videos, I've heard people talk about it, and videos, and at the time, if you're not ready to hear it, like if you're not even ready to hear what I'm saying right now, again, like you'll turn it off, or you're like, or you'll be like, yeah, 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 but you're not really grasping what I'm saying, because it's an impossible thing. It's a vibrational thing. It's an energetic thing that you have to be holding at a certain level of energy. And again, I don't know where I'm holding sometimes. I'm like, am I holding there? And I catch myself because I'm like, oh, ooh, so I hear something from somebody, I'm like, I don't really get what they're saying. So maybe I'm not holding where they're at, or maybe I'm at a different wavelength than them. It's where you're holding. It's like the idea of like people get into spiritual ways and talking about God and nature and universe, and they still think there's cause and effect. So then, but if I don't shave, then my beard's going to grow, right? And if I don't eat, then I'm going to be hungry. So what do you mean there's no cause and effect? So there's an element of, we understand that we do the things we do we because it makes sense for us to do them, but also because we understand that, like, okay, but it appears the illusion is very great, and we have to fill ourselves in with doing certain things. And God gives us the ability. Like I look at my nails, I'm like, oh, I got to cut my nails. It's something to do, and to be grateful to have those things to do, and to have gratitude and love when you're doing them, so that you're cutting each nail slowly, and you're getting a haircut, and you're appreciating the person giving you the haircut, and you're just, and that's when I get a haircut, I'm so appreciative of the guy giving me a haircut. I'm so thankful. It's an amazing person. And it's the same thing when I shave now. Like I'm like, okay, I shave, and I'm gonna take time. And sometimes I rush through it. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I rush through things, as I need to stretch a little bit. And that's how I feel when it comes to doing certain things. Like we're here to do that, we things we have to do. Like I have to do dishes, and I have to clean up, and I have to do my kids' laundry and my own laundry. So there's always things that we're gonna have to do. And if you're just paying attention, if you're just aware of the steps you're taking, as you're doing it, things open up to you, and it's not what we thought. It's not like it's just going to happen overnight. That's the thing with spirituality, and that's the thing with the spiritual journey that I've been on. I know this is a tough pill for people to swallow at this point. If you're still here and you're still listening to this, it's difficult to sit back and wait, and to like feel like I've done all this for God. I've given up so much. I've given up. Trust me, I've given up so much. And there are moments where I'm like, I gave up so much for God. I'm like, where are the results? And then boom, a butterfly will fly by. And if I'm not paying attention, I would have missed it. Butterfly means transformation. Or a swan will show up. Or a bird will come right by my face. Right? Or a squirrel will come up. Or a little child will be like looking at me. It's just paying attention, or you'll get a synchronicity with a number. Whatever the case may be, it's if you're paying attention, it's everywhere you look. It could be even in a book. It could even be in the big book, right? It could be in a magical book. Whatever it is, whatever you're reading, if you're reading something, it's in there. Or whatever it is, it's like I used to get tricked into think like I was watching a video and like, oh, this isn't it. It's not that there are messages that are not messages for you. That doesn't mean it's not God. It's like saying the shadow aspects of ourselves are not God. The shadow or the devil, that's God too. That's the darkness and light. It's all one. It's like saying murder or the death of a person is not God. It is God. God is everything. God's not is moral. He's not a moral being. He's amoral. There's no morality. It just is. But it's what we make of it. In your reality, you're co-creating your own reality. So you decide whether or not you want to go into this negative way of thinking about it, or that this positive way. And in this positive light, it's people will talk about manifestation. It's just you keep on going in the positivity, and it automatically will work that way. Manifesting works, as we know from many books that are written on. People will testify to manifestation. It's a real thing. It's also the karmic law and how it works in karma. It also works in terms of nature and God and the universe. That's how it works. Is to understand, to have gratitude. That's why I keep on talking about having this idea of gratitude. It's also for my own reminder to be grateful for those who are listening to my video, to be grateful for being able to come on video, being grateful for all of this, and to know that at the end, first of all, the end is this moment, but the end of like whatever you think the end is, it's always going to be good. The story's going to keep on going, the mystery keeps on unfolding, but it's beautiful, and it's going to be keep on opening up and opening up, and Ram Dass talks about plane after plane will open to you, and that's what happens. Different realities start to open to you when you live in this way, when you live in this abundance and opening. You start to laugh. No one's around. You're like something happens, and you're laughing, and nobody might not know. Someone might see you. They don't have no idea why you're laughing, and you're laughing at the cosmic humor of the universe. That something will happen the second you lose it, you come right back because you see that's how God works. It's like this. That's the game. That's what's called the dance of life, the Leela, the dance of life. It's this dance of like, it's not always going to be like we want it to be like every second, and that's the whole point. It's not like that. It's like, but it's the more you go, the more you're like in this ah I get I see that those are your moments of I got it and then the mystery when it unfolds, when the surprise happens, and that thing that you're waiting for happens, or whatever it turns out to be, when it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be that much more exciting and that much better in the end. So just wait, keep on waiting together with me, together with each other. We're in this together. So just surrender so you can remember, and that's all we have to do. So there's your clue. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy whatever it is you're doing in this current moment. Thank you.